You are the first to show up and the last to ask for anything. You notice what people need before they say it. You give your time, your energy, your attention, generously, consistently, and often quietly. And at the end of it, you rarely receive the same in return. Most people assume that's just who you are. Psychology says that pattern runs much deeper than personality. Here is the real psychology behind people who give more than they ever receive. 1. Giving was how they made themselves safe. Psychologists link chronic overgiving to early attachment experiences, where love was conditional on usefulness. The child who learned that they were most valued when they were helpful, accommodating, or giving internalized a fundamental belief: I must earn my place. As adults, they continue giving not just out of generosity, but out of a deeply conditioned fear that if they stop, they will stop being wanted. The giving is genuine, but it is also, beneath the surface, a form of self-preservation. 2. They are uncomfortable being the one with needs. Research on reciprocity and self-worth shows that chronic givers often experience genuine discomfort when they are in the position of needing something from someone else. Needing feels vulnerable. It shifts the power dynamic they feel safest in. They manage this discomfort by staying in the giving role as consistently as possible, giving before they can be given to, helping before they can be helped, ensuring the balance always tips in the direction of their contribution. 3. They attract people who take more than they give. Psychology notes that people who give freely and consistently, without clear limits, often unconsciously signal availability without boundaries. This draws individuals who are comfortable being on the receiving end of generosity without offering equivalent reciprocity. The pattern isn't random. It reflects an internal dynamic. The overgiver needs to give to feel safe, and they find, with reliable frequency, people who are comfortable letting them. 4. They mistake exhaustion for love. Research on enmeshment and codependency shows that chronic givers often confuse the feeling of being depleted with the feeling of being deeply invested. If it costs them this much, it must matter this much. The exhaustion becomes evidence of commitment. The sacrifice becomes proof of love. Psychology gently distinguishes between giving from fullness and giving from depletion, and notes that only one of them is actually sustainable. 5. Resentment grows in the silence. Psychology shows that even the most generous people eventually reach a threshold. When giving is consistently one-sided, resentment builds quietly beneath the surface. Not because the person has become selfish, but because the imbalance has become undeniable. They rarely express this resentment directly. Instead, it leaks out as withdrawal, exhaustion, or a growing numbness toward relationships that once felt meaningful. 6. You are allowed to receive. Psychology is clear that giving and receiving are both essential parts of healthy human connection. A relationship where one person only gives and the other only takes isn't intimacy. It's a transaction with an uneven ledger. Allowing yourself to receive is not weakness. It is the completion of the circle. It is how you find out who actually shows up for you, and how you begin to build relationships where the giving finally goes both ways. If you have given everything you had and still felt like it wasn't enough, psychology isn't asking you to give more. It's asking you to give yourself the same generosity you've been extending to everyone else. Starting now. Subscribe now for more psychology that speaks to the deepest patterns in how you connect, give, and finally learn to receive. Because on this channel, you have always deserved what you give.